First of all, who did you vote for in 2008?
I didn't vote for anyone because I was not a citizen at the time.
Oh, really? When
Yes.
did you get your citizenship?
In 2015. This was the first time I voted ever.
Wow. Were you actually excited about inauguration?
Yes, I was excited very much. It was not because it was such a monumental moment. It was more about that, okay, so I guess now I'm in the US, and it was more about FOMO, really. Like Beyonce was there. I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either.
Maybe we missed it or something. I think we might have left early because we needed to catch a flight. I do remember thinking, Dana, why did you book the ticket back to Rhode Island on the same day as the inauguration? So we got to the subway, and I remember a lot of police officers, like 100 people at a time could go in, and like there were already like a herd of people forming outside. This is no go. Like there's no way we will ever make the train. And then we got into a taxi, and I remember it was not possible to go anywhere because all the roads and streets were blocked off. So taxi was like, you have to get out. Eventually we said, we have no choice, we have to walk, because it's really not that far. It's only like 5 miles.
But I think it was like the highway
something.
though.
Yes, we had to walk on the highway. The traffic was very light, but we were walked on the side of the highway. And there was a part where we walked under the bridge in the mud. Like
yeah.
It was from under that bridge that we saw the building of the airport, and we're like, we finally made it. Your flight was delayed. Also, they had a system of threats, like what threat level it is, and it was orange. So, and after you left, I took the metro back to my dorm, and I remember my legs felt like they were made out of cotton. It was like an odyssey. I would never trade this memory for anything else.
If we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left. With every breath from my bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the west. We will rise from the wind-swept northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked south. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover in every known nook of our nation, in every corner called our country. Our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade of flame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
CBS News is now projecting the outcome of all 50 states in the presidential election. And while President-elect Joe Biden leads with 306 electoral votes, President Trump is doubling down on his refusal to concede.
President's biggest battleground is in the states that will decide the presidential race. His campaign threatening a recount in Wisconsin and filing new lawsuits in Michigan and Pennsylvania to stop that attempt. Despite what the president's son now says,
they're going to win Pennsylvania, but they're trying to cheat us out of it because they know it's their only path to victory.
There's no evidence of fraud in states that have not been called to the president's super battle, beginning as the path to victory is narrower, even as he tries his misinformation campaign, intending to introduce uncertainty in a Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina, as all races warning now, with many Republicans slapping the same roads for Arizona. His campaign confident there anyway, while his advisors
officially introduce the 46th President of the United States, Joseph R. Biden, Jr.
Together, we shall write an American story.
Let there be light.
Looks like some of you actually decided to show up. Welcome to history from the years 1776 to right now. Quite frankly, I don't think a single one of you is going to pass this class. But I'm gonna make sure that doesn't happen. Okay, let's get to work. Now, the Declaration of Independence, aka America's middle finger. See, look. Germany's war effort. Basically a German assault weapon. Rifle. Damn it! Now, let's take a look at your motto, okay? Germany loses the war. The Americans did not defeat the Germans. It was the Soviets. Right? Right. Thank you. Now, does anybody know what the hell we're talking about? Anybody else? Anybody? No way? You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, you, in the back. 16 inches. Wrong! You're wrong. You're wrong. I think I'm in the wrong room.
Say something more. Something more.
You will be there if you want to be.
grande, hermano. Dios me dio esa vida para cantar el siempre al mundo entero. Cuídense mucho, hermano. Igualmente. Que siempre triunfo en la vida. Triunfo en la vida.
There was plenty of love.
What if it's about moving to the city and then bringing home with you? And
bringing home with you? What does that mean?
An Arctic person from Antarctica feels sad because they moved to this big city like Austin.
My video project?
Yes. And then suddenly it snows and then they realize that they actually really love it here.
Yeah. Woo!
I will tell you something, Sophia. I watched you being born, and that was the first baby I saw who was born with the eyes open.
You were always intensely
they were
curious.
Intimidated by you because you would just look at them, not a smile. I remember just spending hours with you,
and it was always very amusing to
and
me
telling you what
that
they were.
You couldn't contain yourself. So
And
you would sing in the shower, and literally you would sing in the hallway and all through the house. But if I ever asked you to sing, you would clam up and you would refuse to do that.
And you are a very sensitive person. Nobody knows why you had those
scream and scream.
You know, I think that you struggled sometimes when you were young
when you were little.
with your
and
emotions.
You had this expectation of consistency and
there is a
deep
shyness to
loyalty
you and a
that
hesitancy.
You cannot
I'm not sure
that
was
you have,
possible to
that
find
you
for the
constantly
most part
overcome
in kids your
because you
age.
have a
And
deep need for people.
I guess you had an idea in your head, and I think that what you wanted, or how you were that strong and ability in the whole in your whole brain.
Number one rule, you must love yourself.
Yeah,
And rule number 2, what was the rule number 2? Do you remember?
Yeah. Well, the rule number 2 is watch for rule number 1.
I play many roles in my life, and what I'm currently grasping is the concept of being a Chicana feminist filmmaker. For me, film is a diary entry where I recollect, reflect, and heal. A place where I can belong, exist, allowing me to empower women of color. It becomes a form of release and your for a way of expressing my feelings. Unfortunately, most of my time I wait and wait until an idea floats in my mind. It's like an empty house waiting to be leased, or an empty pool on a sunny day. When I get lucky, it's like an adrenaline rush. Ideas flow easily like a water stream, and I don't stop creating until I'm done. It's the way I tell the world I exist.
But I do it in my own terms.
I let it become part of my identity, just like my tan skin color, my mother's added this. As a woman of color, my voice has been oppressed for generations. But sharing my experiences, my stories as a Chicana has helped me to keep my culture and my identity alive.
My name is Werner Herzog. I'm a tiny filmmaker that lives inside the mind of Wesley Woolgrubs. I haunt him like a specter. He awakes each day, wondering how a world like this deserves to be captured. I slap him in the face and coerce him forward unto the Sisyphean toils. You think you are the only one plagued by the forced mirror. Grow up, little baby.
É pau, é pedra, é o fim do caminho. É o resto de toco, é um pouco sozinho. É um caco de vidro, é a vida, é o sol. É a noite, é a morte, é o laço, é o anzol. É peroba do campo,
é o nó da madeira.
É
o matita pereira,
é madeira de vento.
Da ribanceira,
é um mistério profundo.
É o queira ou não queira,
é o vento ventando. É o fim da ladeira, é a viga, é o vão, festa da comeira.
É a chuva chovendo, é conversa ribeira das águas de março, é o fim da canseira.
É o pé, é o chão,
é a mastradeira.
Passarinho na
pedra de atiradeira.
Today's the first day of spring. Year 7 since Doomsday. We've developed a solution, a sort of fertilizer, to help protect the plants from the atmosphere. I've been distributing it during my long walks. Turns out even when the earth is dying, we still want walks in nature. Sorry, the air, it's burning my eyes.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mary Elizabeth. Happy birthday to you. We all love you.
With such a complex term, there's so much to unpack, there's so much to learn, there's so much to feel. For me, it means that I was raised by a beautiful black woman and a nerdy white dad. I came out in this white privileged body and my mom said, "Oh, why is it so light?" Being raised by a beautiful black woman, by a beautiful black family, having them breathe black culture into my soul. But I stand here in this lighter body. What do I do with that? I stand up in this white privileged body and I amplify black voices. I stand up in this white privileged body. I use this light, white, privileged body to help end black struggles in this country because I know I will never understand the world the way my mom does. For me, biracial identity means using your body as a warrior for the cause. Being not only an ally, but an accomplice. Being biracial isn't trying to step ahead, trying to speak up, trying to speak louder than the black bodies around me, but it means standing next to, taking a step back when necessary, listening, learning, continuing to educate myself so that I can be an accomplice in the fight.
Blue means to me the empty pool in my apartment, my favorite Van Gogh painting, a cat mural, my favorite sweater on a chilly day, to recycle, a tiny door, the feeling of walking in a dark hallway, the comfort of being by myself, a nice trench coat, a parking sign, birds flying in the sky.
Trains and school buses, sidewalks and narrow streets. I'm still getting used to the landscape of a city. Talking quietly of anything with you, your face in the lamplight. I wanna frame it. talking quietly. If anything, with you, soup on the stove. Tonight there is a moat around us. Ooh, music under the door. We're not old, but we're getting older.
an eerie sight, for my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly to my surprise.
He did the mash.
He did the monster mash.
The monster mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
He did the mash.
It caught on in a flash.
He did the mash.
He did the monster mash. From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abode to get a jolt from my
name is Deb Lewis, and I love my cinema laboratory. Thank you for joining me this semester.
They did the mash.
They did the monster mash. The zombies were having fun. The party had